Our God possesses boundless wisdom and power. Therefore, I encourage you to release your worries and fears, surrendering the things beyond your control to God. Have you ever tried to exert control over something, only to realize that it's impossible? Imagine being in a small boat, stranded in the midst of a daunting storm. You have no power to halt the tempest. However, what if you knew someone who could? Our lives often resemble this scenario. We encounter situations we cannot manipulate, much like that storm. Yet we often forget that we have a choice. Even when it seems like we have none, we do. We can either worry and attempt to fix things ourselves, or entrust them to the one who possesses authority over everything, even the storm. As humans, we yearn for control. It makes us feel secure and mighty. Nevertheless, it's essential to acknowledge our limitations. God fashioned the world and everything within it. He is the ultimate controller, not us. Yet we can discover solace in knowing that we are part of God's magnificent plan. As Job 26:7 reminds us, God stretches out the north over the void and suspends the earth on nothing. Our God is omnipotent. Life often presents uncertainties, and as Ecclesiastes 3:1 states, "To everything there is a season," signifying that some things are simply beyond our control, just like the weather. We cannot control the weather, just as we cannot control many aspects of life. This natural desire for control is understandable. It instills a sense of safety and power. However, we must recognize that we cannot control everything. There are aspects of life beyond our reach. Attempting to control everything leaves us exhausted and stressed because as humans, we have limitations. Ecclesiastes reminds us that there's a time for everything, signifying that certain things are beyond our control, no matter how hard we try. Surrendering to God does not indicate weakness. Rather, it is an act of faith. When we cease trying to control everything and entrust God, we demonstrate our faith in His immense power and wisdom. The Bible is replete with stories of individuals who trusted God amid challenging circumstances. Consider the account of Jehoshaphat in 2 Chronicles 20. When faced with a formidable enemy, Jehoshaphat turned to God in prayer, declaring, "We do not know what to do, but our eyes are on you." He and his people placed their faith in God and witnessed His intervention. Instead of engaging in battle, they praised God, and He confused and defeated their enemies. Likewise, when King Hezekiah was gravely ill, he prayed and trusted God, who granted him an additional 15 years of life. When we trust God in uncontrollable situations, we allow His divine plan to unfold. This trust results in miracles beyond our imagination. Although we may encounter circumstances we don't comprehend, we can be certain that God knows what He's doing. His ways are higher than ours, as stated in Isaiah 55:8-9. Surrendering to God signifies faith in His great power and wisdom. We find examples of God's unfailing love and faithfulness throughout the Bible. Despite the Israelites' complaints and unfaithfulness in the wilderness, God remained faithful, providing manna from heaven and demonstrating His love. God's love never wavers, and His promises are unwavering. If God makes a promise, He keeps it. Surrendering our worries to God through prayer is an act of trust. We acknowledge our inability to handle everything on our own and request God's assistance. By casting our anxieties on Him, we find peace. As 1 Peter 5:7 affirms, "Cast all your anxieties on Him because He cares for you." Surrendering our worries means entrusting God to help us and saying, "I can't do this alone, I need your help." Through surrender, we gain victory. Surrendering to God allows us to conquer fear, worry, and stress. Think of the story of Jericho in the book of Joshua. The mighty walls were impervious to conventional force. However, by following God's unconventional plan of marching around the city, the walls crumbled. Similarly, in our lives, there are walls we cannot dismantle through our efforts. Problems, challenges, people we can't change, or situations we can't control.